Today's Core of the Bible Daily Insight is on the awe-inspiring perspective that changes lives. And the theme is that when we live in awe of God's majesty, we're compelled to act compassionately towards others. In Job 6, it says, "Anyone who withholds kindness from a friend forsakes the fear of the Almighty." Now, the fear of the Almighty and the fear of the Lord are phrases that have fallen out of use in our modern religious vernacular. Rarely is God represented as a being who is to be feared. Rather, his mercy and forgiveness are emphasized above and beyond all qualities of his being. But to better understand this admonition to fear God, we would do well to investigate the word that's translated in our English versions as fear. In regular vocabulary, that word to us means to be frightened or scared of something or someone who might do us harm. However, in biblical terminology, the term goes beyond that into a broader usage of reverence or awe. If we have the fear of God, we have the deepest respect and reverence for God, recognizing just how awesome and powerful he really is. Whether we read of his power in the creation of all things, or the separating of the Red Sea, or in the resurrection of Yeshua, we're glimpsing the majesty and glory that sits outside of our natural understanding into the supernatural realm of God's character and abilities. And when we incorporate that perspective of the otherness of God into our daily lives, we cannot help acting and working differently than others around us who have a physical-only worldview. In Job's perspective above, he mentions how the fear of the Almighty is a factor in helping those around us. If we do not have the fear of God, Job says, we have no motivation for expressing compassion to those less fortunate or those going through rough patches in their lives. We tend to withhold kindness. And we instead focus on our personal agendas, which end up being relatively insignificant by comparison. Having the larger perspective of awe can help us realize that the things we value as important to us in the short term of our temporary lives pale in contrast with the more important things that the God of the universe expects of us, such as helping others. This concept of perspective-changing awe is a known commodity, and that's true even outside of religious environments. For example, there's an article in The Atlantic, and it reads like this. I'll just read a quick quote from it. It says, "Imagine yourself at a scenic vista somewhere on Earth, such as the rim of the Grand Canyon or the shore of an ocean stretching out past the horizon line. As your brain processes the view and its sheer vastness, feelings of awe kick in. Looking at a photo is not the same, but we might get a dose of what that looks like when we see a particularly sparkly Hubble picture of a star cluster. The experience of awe, whether we're standing at the summit of a mountain or sitting in front of a computer screen, can lead to a diminished sense of self, a phrase psychologists use to describe feelings of smallness or insignificance in the face of something larger than oneself. And as alarming as that may sound, research has shown that the sensation can be a good thing. A shot of awe can boost feelings of connectedness with other people." And that's the end of the quote. But taken as a whole, the Bible is all about instilling in us a sense of awe and wonder for the God who created all things and who placed us within his creation to make a compassionate difference in the lives of those around us. And when we operate within that sense of big picture reverence for our Creator, we're not only encouraged but compelled to express his compassion. And in this way, the two greatest commands, to love God and love others, can be fulfilled in us. Well, I hope today's insight was helpful for you, as usual. And as always, you can visit coreofthebible.org for many more Bible articles like this and other podcast episodes. Thanks so much for listening today. Take care.